So hello guys and welcome back to the part 3 of our player analysis road to the Australia T20 World Cup. This is episode number 78, and previously in the last two parts we have discussed about Virat Kohli and then we discussed about
Sanju
Sanju
Samson.
Samson. And in today's episode we will be discussing about one of the good talents we have currently in our spin bowling department, who has got a lot of praises from a lot of people for his performances for India in the limited time he has played and for his IPL franchise as well. So today we'll be discussing about Ravi Bishnoi, who was a part of India's Asia Cup squad, but unfortunately, even after being a best bowler against Pakistan, he was dropped against Sri Lanka with a logic given that they have a lot of left-handers, but generally he bowls better to a left-handers than right-handers. That stats also prove that. And also then he was dropped in the last match against in a dead rubber match against Afghanistan. So there's a lot of ifs and buts. Like, is Ravi Bishnoi really in the plan for the T20 World Cup? Or because I think let's see what our panel thinks. So we'll start with Shanoy. Shanoy, what do you think? Do you think after they dropped him, do you think Ravi Bishnoi is in the plan for the World Cup? Oh, if yes, why? If not, why?
So, like for me, Ravi Bishnoi is an extremely talented player. Like he is one of the very good leg spinners I've seen after a long time. Like coming into the Indian team, someone who's actually gonna be the future of the country. But right now, there are two factors that I would consider. First is the fact that the World Cup is in Australia. Like that is one of the biggest factors. And second is that he is not that experienced as much as we need right now, where he can be acting as an independent bowler on the Australian pitches. So just for those two reasons, and the fact that I think we'll go with someone like Chahal and prefer a fast bowler who can bat as a backup, so that we have a plan B wherein we are like we can play an extra fast bowler who can like provide us with some good
Do we see return
swing.
of the legend Venkatesh Iyer?
Not really, but yeah. Going back to the discussion, yeah. So basically, because of those two reasons, I do not see Ravi Bishnoi on the flight to Australia. Unfortunately, he is one. He would be one of the unlucky players to miss out, in my opinion. Like he would possibly be in the reserves that will be taking along and be like, yeah, we can maybe get him in if
I think if
one of
Ravi
our
Bishnoi
ballers
was
is
born
there.
in any other country apart from India, he will be one of the first names to be on the team sheet for any of the countries that are currently playing. So it's very
That
very
I agree.
it's very very tough for especially young players. If you talk about someone like Ishan Kishan who has done fairly well.
Ishan Kishan, no, why?
No, he
Don't bring MI agenda here.
no
क्या कुछ भी
agenda.
काट देता है. Why?
I am talking about the young
No
players
Ishan
who
Kishan.
might miss out. I'm telling
Yeah.
who have played for Indian team, but they might not make it to World Cup because Ishan Kishan has played all the T20s recently for India, and he has been one of our best performance stat wise in 2022. So you can go and check the stats as well. So stats don't lie. So so a player like Ishan Kishan, a player like Ravi Bishnoi, so these young players who Ruturaj Gaikwad did get his chances, but he was not that great. But still, the talent they possess, like they might start for many of the other countries. But it's a harsh reality that but it's very tough because the squad size is very limited. So these
We
players
have
do
so much
miss.
talent, but we still don't get to Asia Cup finals. क्या
Yeah,
फायदा
like
है?
Hardik Pandya told, India can field two teams and still win every competition, and after that we have not reached any finals. So so that is something I don't want to tell, but it's a fact. But yeah, going back to Ravi Bishnoi, Siddharth, what do you think? Because you rate him highly. Would you drop someone like a Chahal for a Bishnoi?
No, I don't. Look, I don't drop a chance, but I think Bishnoi is such an X factor, man. Like, I don't see him as just a spinner. I see him as much more because I remember his last
All
four
rounder
versus Pakistan.
after two fours.
Oh, I fucker की catch. But no, I still his bowling. I feel like वो death में भी डाल सकता है. I trust him in the, like I remember his game against Pakistan. That even though he bowled wides, like he has that thing that वो छह की ball छह fast googly डाल सकता है, which is not easy to hit at all. So I see him as more of I see him as more than a spinner for sure. I think he won't make the playing 11, but I definitely rate him over Ashwin any day. I think Ashwin brings batting correct, but I think Bishnoi just is someone so reliable. I think like every time I've seen Bishnoi play for India, वो wickets लेता है, वो आपको breakthrough करके ही देगा, and that's what you need in T20. Like as a leg spinner, I expect it's fine if he goes for
So
30, 35 runs.
what do you prefer from a leg spinner? Like be attacking like someone like a Chahal, or be little defensive and just constrain run, or do you adapt to the situation? Like what do you personally prefer from your main leg
Wickets.
spinner?
Wickets for sure. I think offies can like and fast bowlers can do the job, but as a leg spinner, आपको चाहिए कि आप थोड़ा flight करो, आप थोड़ा variation लाओ, and you want him to hit right because look in the World Cup, I think what the batsmen are going to be कि आपको डेथ में 4 ओवर बुमराह और हर्षल डाल रहे हैं, तो उधर आपको रन कम मिल सकते हैं. So
Arshdeep भी
then you
तो
need
है.
to accelerate. Then you need to accelerate in the middle overs, and that's where people are going to take on the likes of Chahal and Bishnoi, which is okay. I don't see Bishnoi in the playing 11, but maybe he could. Like who knows? Maybe you can play both Chahal Bishnoi instead of one pacer. It depends on the again. I think Australia pitches like as Ravi Shastri said, pitch को निकालो game से, like वो होगा कभी ना कभी. I think ऐसा इतना बड़े tournament में आप एक mindset के साथ नहीं जा सकते. So I think I would definitely like Bishnoi over Ashwin. Bishnoi is in the squad in the playing 11, not to start with, but then we'll see as the tournament goes up. So yeah, that's my take on this one.
Cool. But just I do agree with what both of you said, but just looking at the Australian condition, as Sena also said, and we can only name 15 players. So if I'm just randomly counting the players who will come back and who will go out from this Asia Cup squad, likely to go out is, so you have Jadeja who is injured. So I think Akshar Patel is a straight replacement. We don't have anyone else apart from Akshar Patel to replace Jadeja. So that position is filled. Then you have someone called Avesh Khan who might be away, and Jasprit Bumrah might replace him. And then there's Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer might go, and you can have someone like a Sanju Samson, maybe. That is what we are talking about. So apart, and then you also have a Harshal Patel. So I think to Australia, if we are going, we'll go with 4 pacers and plus Hardik Pandya. So I think Harshal Patel comes in straight for one of Ashwin or Bishnoi. I would rather drop Ashwin than to drop Bishnoi. So I think we should not, but I don't understand the mentality of Team India going into the games like they prefer a off spinner against a lefty. But Ashwin was not that special against Sri Lanka. He did get a wicket, but he didn't look like he was containing runs. Even today against Afghanistan, he was over 7 economy or 7.5, where everyone else was below 6. So I think, like Sid just said, if you are taking Ashwin over Bishnoi, that would be a very stupid move to do, because I think it's time to move away from players like Ashwin and
But then
give
understandable because Ashwin is an offie, right? आपकी टीम में फिर कोई offie नहीं होगा. हम अक्सर left arm pacer, left arm spinner है, right?
no,
The
but Bishnoi
right arm
can
offie.
bowl well to leggy.
Yeah, I
Like
agree. I
we
agree.
and in Australia, even the boundaries are bigger. I think it will be tough. Even if it's a left-hander, I think Bishnoi googlies are very good and he bowls really well. So it will be very tough to hit him. So I fairly think if it's a straight fight between Bishnoi and Ashwin, then Bishnoi should be definitely in for me. But how the things are going and how we have decided the things, I think that it will be Ashwin over Bishnoi, looking at what the management is thinking, because they benched him in 2 of the matches. So I do feel bad for him, but I do want him personally. So personally for me, Bishnoi is a in if it's a straight fight between them. Otherwise, no. So I would rather prefer someone like a Harshal Patel, to Harshal Patel, Deepak Chahar, Bumrah, Arshdeep, two and Bhuvi. 5 pacers, one in reserve, obviously, and 4 in the playing squad, and not in the 11, in the 15. So I would rather have that combination over everything else. So yeah, so it's very doubtful of where Bishnoi is. We do think that he should make the squad, but unfortunately he might miss out. So let's see when the squad is announced if Bishnoi is in or he's hard done. But nonetheless, even if he's not playing now, he will have a lot of chances in the future because he is very young. And obviously, after World Cup, I think a lot of older players will move on from T20 format, because the next World Cup is, I think, is 2025 T20 World Cup, or maybe 24. But whatever is the case, I think Bishnoi will get his chances later on, if not now. So yeah, that was pretty much it for this episode. We'll be back in the next episode where we'll be discussing few other players, what they do, what they don't bring. So yeah, thank you Sid, thank you Shenoy, and yeah, stay tuned. Do like, share, subscribe, and do watch all the previous part. And see you guys in the next episode.